Hey, what is up, collecting crew, and good evening? Hope you're all having a good weeknight, I guess, and you're having a good weekend so far, although it's almost to a close. We are on, what is this, August 27th. Oh, and happy National Cinema Day for those of you who were able to go out there and take advantage of those cheap $4 tickets in honor of NCD. Yeah, I don't know if that was a stateside thing or select states or what, but yeah, for you fellow cinephiles, happy National Cinema Day. Um, Welcome. This is the first episode of the Lowdown. So yeah, new format here for me. An attempt to start creating more content, getting stuff out there. For those of you that don't know, welcome new and current subscribers and viewers. So up to this point, I've mostly been doing streams based on 1/6 scale figures content, and maybe some miscellaneous pop culture stuff and TV shows and stuff like that. But I wanted to do more. Right, this came about because I have a variety of figures in my collection. I call myself an eclectic collector. I know there's others out there in the community who are the same way, but I wanted to talk about more of what I collect and the things I'm interested in, aside from 1/6 scale. So as you can see behind me, I have a variety, a plethora of stuff. Mario, El Profesor, if you're in the chat, you know what's up. Plethora. Yeah, so 1/7, 1/12, 1/18 or 3 3/4 inches, which we'll get into here in a minute. They don't make these anymore, but I got my Disney Infinity down below. I got my Disney no, not Disney Nintendo Amiibo. Yeah, and so I'm all over the place. And so yeah, I wanted to create this stream to talk about that. And yeah, and with that, let me see, what else am I forgetting? Oh, of course, can't forget the lovely chat. Let me touch on there and see who's joining us here. All right, my man, Mr. 12-inch Moose Stream, or Mr. Moose Stream, or just Mr. Dream. What is up, my guy? Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Superior Beam in the house. What is up? Hello, all. What do we have here? Indeed. Yeah, we'll find out. We'll see what I'm cooking. Hiya, hiya. F. Wellington, my guy, for the longest time, this is disclosure here. Whenever I read that, I know we've been talking for a while in the chats here. Whenever I read that, I was thinking hiya, like a karate thing. And so every time I read that, I would always reply judo chop. And you're probably like, what the hell is this guy? Why does he keep telling me judo chop? And that's because that was my counter to that. I thought you were doing hiya like a karate move. And my response was judo chop. Austin Powers. Yeah. You got it there. My other guy, some guy. What is up, my favorite peoples? My man, thank you for joining. Thank you all for joining. And I'm sure as we get in more, as we go on, we'll get more people in. Speaking of the professor himself, class is in session. Profesoro, what's going on, everyone? What is up, Mario, man? Thank you for joining me. Appreciate you. Let me see who else we got here. There we go. I don't have the clip yet, but woo! That was my crappy attempt at doing that. I can't. I don't want to do too loud because it's already it's evening time here, and kids are getting ready to go to bed, so I don't want to scream my lungs out here, but and blow the mic out. But yeah, what's up, BDP1? What is up, my man? Eventually, I'll get that. I'll get that clip like Mario has. Well, I think everyone, all these content creators, got to have that in there just for you. Yeah, exactly. Judo chop. Hiya. F. Wellington. Yeah, that's where I got that from. Yeah, I appreciate you all joining. Let's see here. All right. Yeah. And so, like I said, new stream for me. So I appreciate you all for joining me on this. We'll see how new formats. So I have a bunch of windows open. I had to take some notes, and I have some slides I'm going to show. So I got a lot going on here. So I'm going to do my best to kind of juggle all this. And if I forget about you guys in the chat, I'm sorry. I'll try to keep up where I can, and we'll see how it goes. Right? It's just I got to get situated, testing the waters here. And as some of your significant others might have said, or some of you might have said, let's just go with this. We'll see how it goes. Right? We'll try it out. Let's just let's go with this. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, we get close that. There we go. All right, so this beast here, first item first agenda item. This Ghost Haslab. Yeah, I know we've all mentioned it in the chats. I know some of you streamers out there have mentioned this also. Yeah, this thing is a beast, and it's awesome though, and it's good timing, right? Based on the show, on the Ahsoka show that just premiered last Tuesday, which is, oh man, that's awesome. By the way, I'm just yeah, I'm loving. I'm personally loving it. I know it seems like it's kind of I think overall people are saying it's at least good. I don't think I've heard anyone that says they hate it. I've heard, obviously it's kind of slow, but yeah, I'm really loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. So yeah, oh, don't strike me. That doesn't count. Um, yeah, so Haslab Ghost. So as you can see here, oh yeah, I forgot I got my laser pointer here. Pew 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 pew. $500. And so for those that aren't familiar, Haslab is thinking of it as like a Kickstarter for Marvel Legends, right? Hasbro has their Marvel Legends line, and they push those out regularly, but occasionally they'll do this kickstarting crowdsource funded projects, what they call Haslab, right? So that's this, whether you agree with that or not, it's a whole another topic. I'm just here showing you to here talk about this, what they have now. But yeah, this is $500, and we'll go over why they're pricing it that, what we think they are pricing it that. But yeah, as you can see here, this thing is huge, almost 3 feet in length, 28 inches wide, and 13 inches high. And there were some other pictures, and I should have got them. I didn't have time, but yeah, I think this is also almost as big as the Millennium Falcon they did. So taking a step back, this is the reason it's this big, quote unquote, or small, however you want to label that as, is because this is part of the vintage Hasbro's the vintage collection, or what they call TVC line, right? And that is scaled to 1/18th, which is approximately 3 3/4 inches. And so all the figures for this are scaled appropriately, right, or accordingly, or this vehicle is scaled to that. And so yeah, I think honestly that's probably that was probably the smallest you'd want to go if you want to have a decent sized ship. I mean, it's still big, but can you imagine if they did it for a 12 scale or 6 scale? Like, this thing would be huge. And so having it this big as it is kind of gives you an idea of what the possibilities for that would be if they did make it in a larger scale. So I think, even though it's still big, I think this is like a reasonable size if you wanted to get a Ghost. Obviously, if you want to get something smaller, it would probably be like, I don't know. I don't think there's anything between the next type down. Would probably be like a Hot Wheels type of deal. I don't know if they did. I haven't looked, but just the chat, let me know on the replay. Oh, speaking of quick, sorry. I will timestamp after the video. So if you want to go back, or for those play, those will be there. So you can kind of jump to what topics you need to. Let in the chat. Let me know. Hello, guys. Oh, damn. Hello, hello. Oh, am I back? All right, thank you, More. Yeah, I'm looking at the comments here, like, oh man, you guys are my live, keeping me up to date. Like, boop, 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 boop. Am I in? Am I good? There we are. Thanks, Blue. Beskar, I'm seeing some new people come in. Thank you for joining, sir. My man. Let's see, who else did I see in here that just popped in? Renz, thank you for joining, sir. Yeah, if I missed anyone, apologies, but yeah, thank you all for joining me. Like I was saying, yeah, just keep me posted in the chat if I'm selling, because I'm just rolling solo here, like Han. So if something's breaking up, my audio's off, or something's going weird, just let me know, and I'll try to keep an eye on the chat here. But yeah, so as I was saying, um, 3 3/4 inches. This is scaled to $500. Let me see where I'm at. Oh, so this, from what I was reading, it's kind of interesting. Although it doesn't really matter. The Ghost is based on the Ahsoka show, right? But the figures that it comes with, which I'll go in here a little bit, are based on the Rebels animated show. So it's kind of interesting. Again, it doesn't matter, right? It's the ship. I don't think it matters, but Yeah, that's it's still cool that I think that we're getting this. The only other Haslab that I got was the Galactus, the Marvel Legends. That one is, oh man, that's pretty sick. I need to do some sort of video on that later. But yeah, I haven't funded this yet, but I'm definitely considering it. So these are all the features here that it comes with, or some of them, I should say. I didn't put them all in here because again, there's a lot of things going on here. If you guys are familiar with TVC vehicles, they're pretty detailed even for their size. Hasbro manages to put a lot of sculpt, detail, and paint application in these, and yeah, they come out pretty good. So they have this open ramp here. You can take all the top off here in the middle, and then you have access to the cockpit. Um, I forgot what the lounge area here. There's the sleeping quarters. The turrets move here. I think. Let me know if you guys can see my laser pointing here, my pew pew pointer. Um, and then my video's in the way too. I just noticed that. Down here in the bottom left, this is the cockpit, right, for 4 seats. In the middle, this is like what I was saying, that lounge area. You can see here where they have the bench and the tables, and then the 2 beds. There's a master quarters, I think. I think that's on the other side here. For I don't know, like the pilot or the captain. I'm not sure who. I guess you can do whatever. There's no rules. There's no TVC police. You can do whatever you want. So it's here going down. It also comes with the Phantom 2. I don't recall what happened to the first Phantom. You guys have to keep me honest here in the chat. But they're leaving this as a Phantom 2. They're showing Hera because it comes with Hera, and I'll show you what that looks like on the card back a little bit later. But one of the cool things is you can actually snap it in this dock position here, so it actually snaps into place, which is really cool. And it comes with this little mini bust of Chopper, and it's it's just a bust. It's not a complete figure from what I read. So you can remove this, but it's only half of Chopper. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know if we'll ever get. I'm sure we will, right? We have to get a full version of Chopper at some point. But let me see here. What am I missing here? Make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, going on to the next slide. Tiers. So again, for those of you that aren't familiar, Haslab, they usually have there's a base number of backers that they need to actually proceed with production, right? And to get it funded. And so once they reach that, then there's a guarantee that, okay, we're going to start making this. But after that, if they get more backers, the people who actually purchase or put money towards the Haslab, they call them they call those people backers. So for as incentives, if they get more backers, they usually include what they call tiers, right? And so every tier, there's an unlock, there's special additional items. So in this case, there's more of the Rebel figures, which I have them here. So like I mentioned, Hera comes included at 11,000, which was unlocked recently, is Ezra. Last I looked, they were currently at like 11.6 thousand backers. So yeah, they just passed that. 14,000, as you can see here, is Kanan, and then Zeb at 17,000, and that's tier 3. So Zeb is the last tier. We'll see. I don't know if we'll make that because there is only 11 days left to fund this. The funding date or the close date is 11:59 p.m. Eastern on the 6th. And also, everything that I'm going to mention here, I have links in the description below. So if you want to click on those and check it out, including this Haslab link, if you're interested in take a look and get more info, you can read up on that. But yeah, they call these exclusive cards. So as you can see here, they have their profiles or their pictures from the mural that we saw both in Rebels and at the Ahsoka show, which is awesome. So I don't think the figures themselves are exclusive. Again, correct me in the chat. I don't know if I missed that text. But I think what's exclusive is these figures on these card backs, right? You get the figures on this card. I think later on they may re-release them on their standard, probably traditional cards. But yeah, I think it's cool. I think these look cool. So yeah, we'll see if we get these unlocked. I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical just because, like I said, they were at 11.6 thousand last I checked. And there's about 10 days. I see 12 inches saying 10 days. I didn't do the math, numbers, fingers, words. So yeah. Either way, we're getting Hera and Ezra, so that's pretty cool. Let's see here. Oh, that's the next one. I didn't include it, but I also mentioned they are coming out with a Sabine and a Lowe's cat. So it's a deluxe TVC figure, and there's some kind of there's some like a little pushback on that because from the pictures I saw, and again I should have included here, but I ran out of time. Her helmet was a little big, so she looks like she has like a Lord helmet type of helmet. You know, it's bigger than her body, Bevo Lottie, and yeah, it was. Yeah, it didn't look as good as what Casca and Bo's helmet was. Like it looked like, you know, I think they were swappable. I don't have those figures, the TVC scale, but I think you can swap those rather than the Sabine helmet. The reason why it's big is I believe, again, correct me if I'm wrong, you can put her figure. Sorry, you can put the helmet over her head for Sabine, and then she comes with the Lowe's cat. So that's separate from the Haslab. You can buy that, you know, at retail when that comes out. I think it's already up for pre-order actually. So yeah, you can check that out. All right, so yeah, that's the Haslab on that. You can see. Let me check the chats real quick. Make sure I'm probably missing a bunch of stuff. Let's see, go up. Where did I leave off? And again, yeah, this new format for me. So thank you in advance for the patience, everyone. Let's see here. Profi saying worth the asking price. Yeah, I think so. It's still that asking price is still a bit much. You know, I'm still on the fence with myself, but I think I'm leaning more towards pulling the trigger just because, you know, the hype of Ahsoka. I really love Rebels. I'm in that camp that loved Rebels, and so I think just having this ship is just you know, a good reflection of my love for Rebels, and then hopefully I can say the same about Ahsoka. Right, we'll see that when that ends. But so far, I'm living it. Let's see here. Yeah, I hope Mario again. I hope all tiers are unlocked before the campaign ends. Yeah, I hope so, but I don't know, man. We're like just under 6,000 more backers to unlock the rest of them, and we're about 10 days left. Yeah, but I do hope we get them all. That'd be cool to have the whole crew in the to be able to put them in the Ghost. But I don't know. Like I mentioned earlier, I think they'll still release them, just not on these card backs. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, right? Because it'd be dumb not to put these out, right? You can't just have Hera and Ezra and not the rest of the crew. So I think they will release them. Maybe they won't have, you know, like Kanan won't come with two heads for some reason. Maybe I don't know. They may change up the accessories in addition to the cards. I don't know. We shall see. Let's see here. Yes, thank you. 12-incher. Everybody hit that like button. I appreciate that. Yeah, so far, if you're enjoying what you're watching, you appreciate, and you're finding any of this entertaining at all, I would appreciate it to like button or consider hitting it. That would help spread the awareness of the video, get that out there and more into the ether. All right, so continuing on, as you guys already saw here, next on the list we got this ThreeZero MDLX Shattered Glass Optimus. It's going for $90. This was an interesting one because interesting in the sense that I saw this on ThreeZero's site and it said it was limited to 100, which is interesting because then I saw it up for pre-order at BBTS, a Big Bad Toy Store, same price. But it didn't have a limit on there. It did say limit to one per customer, but it didn't have like a quantity number. So ThreeZero's done that before, and I haven't really researched to see what that actually means. When they put like a number, like limited to whatever number on there. I don't know if that's specific to just what they're making or only a select market. It didn't really go into detail. I guess kind of similar to Hot Toys, right? I know some of you talked about the artisan editions being a certain number, but it doesn't say, you know, how many go to each market or what region or to what retailer or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of the same thing. But I did get this just because, for one, I'm a big fan of ThreeZero Transformer stuff. I didn't have a Shattered Glass version of Optimus. Oh, and just to kind of give you a background for those that aren't familiar, Shattered Glass is like a multi-universe, like, and that's the thing, right? For Transformers, but they started this way back when I think it was like 2008 or something like that, early 2000s, like in the comics or a game or something like that. It was at a con when they announced it, but it's basically an alternate timeline or another universe where the Autobots are the bad guys and the Decepticons are the good guys, which is actually pretty sick. And so they came out with Hasbro came out with some figures based on that, and it's really cool. They have Megatron is a good guy and Soundwave is a good guy. Here's a version of Soundwave where he has like a blue bandana. His colors are like what is it, white and blue, and he has a bandana, and he's like, I think his visor's green. He looks really cool. So this is the evil version of Optimus, Shattered Glass. And if you're not familiar with the MDLX line for ThreeZero, this is their 12-inch, or sorry, 6-inch scale or a 1/12 scale figure. And so now that makes 3 different lines they have. There's the MDLX, the smaller line, the DLX, which is like their 6 scale or about 12 inches. And then they have their premium, which are the huge ones. And I can't remember how big those are because I don't have any of those. They're huge, but they're definitely bigger than 6 scale. So you can imagine that's pretty ginormous. But yeah, ThreeZero, great in their engineering, articulation. They don't transform. I know it's a big gripe, like non-transforming Transformers, right? But for me personally, I wouldn't mind just having I'd rather have the articulation if I had to choose, just because, you think about how often do you transform your Transformer figures. As you can see here behind me, my Transformers, my Hasbro here. I don't think I've transformed them since they got, because I post them up here and I just leave them that way. I do want to eventually go back and kind of I like a so I go back and want to do, but I just haven't got around doing it. They're my bucket list or my to-do list way on the bottom. But yeah, so this just articulation. So you can hear and we're standard thing that with Optimus and oh man, Ion Blaster. I keep forgetting the name. It's one of those. I don't know if it's E or Ion. But yeah, so that's ThreeZero Shattered Glass Optimus. Let me go check the chat real quick here. Let's see here. Yeah, Beam. Yeah, even if you don't like what you're watching, you better. Yeah, thanks, Beam. I appreciate you, man. Good looking out. Oh man, am I breaking up again? Uh-oh, am I still bad, guys? Okay, it's good now. Yeah, again, apologies if you didn't hear me earlier. I am hardwired into for my internet, but earlier there was I've been having internet issues, and I think I saw there was an outage in the area, so I think that might be affecting me. So if I just cut out and the stream drops, I apologize. I may have to postpone it if it just completely shuts off. So, but thank you guys for sticking with me. Yeah. Ren's here. Feezy sounds like Soundwave, superior. No, Feezy, superior. Yeah, Soundwave's my guy. I think that's probably my favorite Transformer. I think I have the most of those. I think no, I still have Optimus figures, but yeah. Thank you guys for your patience and keep letting me know. Keep me posted on my status here on if I continue to sound like Soundwave. Fern, what is up, my guy? Thank you for joining. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming through. All right, we just got through with Shattered Glass Optimus. Going on to the next ThreeZero figure. Speaking of their lines, the next one up, DLX. As I mentioned, this is their 1/6 scale. So they're 12-inch scale Transformers, non-transforming, right? Non-transforming. So this one, as you can see, more pricey, right? It's $250, which is actually more than their typical DLX figures. And I think we'll kind of cover here why I think that is. But again, ThreeZero, this is typical of them. Their engineering articulation on these DLX figures is crazy. As you can see here in all these figures, 74 points of articulation. And if you've never messed with a ThreeZero DLX Transformers figure, I keep saying transforming. I think just because in my heart I want them to transform. Maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, they have, kind of similar to the Hot Toys Iron Man, where there's like a bunch of flaps, right? Like on the legs. If you're familiar with that, you have to lift up certain flaps to move the leg up. So it's like that, but like times, I don't know, 2 and 3, because they have those flaps in different covers and ports, all like around their arm, around their waist. Yeah, there's just a bunch. But in turn, it allows for great articulation, right? So again, ThreeZero known for articulation, as you can see here with this Optimus doing the quote unquote superhero landing, the superhero pose, the ground pound. And his leg, usually when you see those figures and when they try to get them to do that, their leg is kind of out to the side, right? Rather than right in front of them, like for some of the Hot Toys Iron Man, just because they can't bend completely up straight forward or get that torso articulation. And they kind of do some trickery with the camera where they turn it so it looks like their leg is coming forward, but it's actually like they're like 90 degrees. One leg's coming towards you, and the other one is like out to the side. So, but here, this is, yeah, basically getting it right. But again, that's a testament to ThreeZero's engineering and articulation of their figures. He comes with these his blades here. This is a real metal chain, which I think is awesome. This is a mixed media figure, so I believe the base of the figure is die cast, right? All the joints are die cast. And I have a few Optimus Primes in this scale, the DLX, the 12th, the 1/6 scale, and they're really awesome. But this looks sick. I saw the movie. I really enjoyed the movie. It wasn't great, but still, I think it was better than the previous Transformers movies before it. And here, this is just showing, how you can kind of move the back plates here. Again, ThreeZero's attention to detail. If you've never had a figure, when you crunch them forward, they have, some figures you kind of crunch them forward, and there's either like a gap or there's not really that much detail or paint in the portion that's covered up if it was straight, right? But on this, ThreeZero goes all out, and they extend this detail here. When you crunch it forward, this goes underneath, right? And you can see all that gets exposed. And it's really awesome. So they really take their time here, and they put a lot of effort into engineering. This just shows that the blades can mount to the back here. So one of the reasons why I think this figure is expensive, because it not only comes with one, not two, but three different face plates. Check this out. Look how sick this looks. Look at this one here. He just looks badass with this one right here. And even with the mask on, a la Sub-Zero or Scorpion, that looks sick. And then here's his mouth, like he's gonna say something, or like he's just like, "Ugh, you weakling," or something. I don't know. Make something up. You put your best Optimus Primal voice. What does he say? I can't remember now in the show. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a ThreeZero DLX figure that comes with three face plates. That's just awesome. And if they do, I don't have it. The ones I have don't have any face plates at all. So I'm not sure. Maybe I just didn't pick up a figure that has three face plates. But yeah, this is awesome. This is the first, and the eyes do light up. Most of the DLX figures do have light up functions. It's mostly in the eyes. There's the War for Cybertron. Optimus has it in the chest, also with like the where the windshield on his chest, or where the windshield of the truck formation would be. Those light up, so it's pretty sick. And then here, this just shows you everything it comes with. It's not a lot, but again, it's light up three face plates, which I believe is new. You got these three pairs of hands, and then his blade. So, you kind of judge for yourself if it's worth $250. That is more than what they typically are, I think, in my experience, or for what I've seen. But again, you let me know in the chat or in the comments if that's typical for a figure like this. So something similar, but I think it's more from what I remember. But yeah, it still looks cool. I'm still getting it just because it looks badass. I personally think it's worth the price just because of the faceplates into options. And yeah, I'm sure when I get it in hand, it's just going to be a beefy boy. So yeah, going back to the chat real quick here. Blue, what's up, my guy? Beast Wars was awesome. Yeah, need Cheetor too. Yeah, I had those. I was a fan of the animated or the CG series when I was younger. I have a couple of those figures too, that I kept from my childhood. But yeah, I was a big fan of Beast Wars, Cheetor, and Primal. Yeah, we're awesome. Primal saying hit that like button. Yeah, thanks, friend. Appreciate you. All right, so going on to the next one here. What do we got? Let me see. Make sure no one's saying my audio. I still sound like Soundwave. No, I think I'm good. Easy, good. Let's see here. All right, where was I? Make sure I didn't get anything down. Yeah, 250, 74. Yeah, I think I got all that. Making sure. So checking my notes here, make sure I got everything. Yep. All right. So now going on back down to the 12 scale. Tamashii Nations, the Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts, Gohan and Goku set. For those that don't know, I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. Again, I collect a bunch of stuff that kind of reflects my my hobbies, my interests. Outside of this, I just like a bunch of different things. Just including anime. There's different animes that I watch, and my taste in movies is just spreads through multiple genres. Music's the same way. Hobbies, sports and exercise and collecting video games. It just, yeah, I know it's a lot. You probably see this and you're like, damn, he has a lot of shit. But yeah, I think that's just me. That's just a reflection of my interests, my likes, right? And this includes Dragon Ball Z. So I've been a Dragon Ball Z fan for a while. I'm sure some of you've heard me talk about it and discuss. And I know some of you out there in the community as well. S Beam, yeah, Blue. I know you guys are fans as well. But yeah, this was really so. This initially came out for SDCC a couple of months ago, and this was an SDCC exclusive. And they released it there first. So, if you were attended, you were able to pick this up or, get in the queue or get the line and get the tickets to get this. And so I was kind of bummed. Shout out to Eddie Money Mendez. He attempted to get these for some folks, and he wasn't able to get it. But either way, I appreciate you, man, for at least attempting. That was really awesome. You didn't have to do that, spend your time over there to do that. So, yeah, man, appreciate you. Thank you. And I did read that these were going to go up later. So I was like, yes, my hopes, my chances for getting this second chance, it came through. And yeah, fortunately, this came up on Premium Bandai's US site on their website for pre-order. And so, yeah, I snatched this up. And this is cool because it comes with 2 figures, which we've seen before from SH Figuarts. But this one comes with this ghost version of Goku. Again, this is a reenactment from the Cell games. If you're familiar with Dragon Ball Z, there's a Cell games arc towards the end of the Cell games, or the Cell saga, I should say, when it was Gohan, basically, it was up to him and he was fighting Cell. And we see him here in his Super Saiyan 2 form. And yeah, this is a scene from that, from a specific episode on what went down. But yeah, this is really awesome. I don't have this version of Gohan. And I think the only difference here they did release this version before. The only difference is this translucent hair, or lucent-ish hair. Whereas before, in the previous version, it was like opaque. So it wasn't really like a see-through type of thing. And then this Goku, I think, is new. I don't think we've ever got any Force Ghost version of Goku here, which is cool though. I like, this is a whole figure, it comes with alternate hands also, in addition to Gohan, and it comes with this effect here, which is really cool. Yeah, so I think this is a pretty awesome deal for $90. It's yeah. So, but I saw they were still available. So again, I'm pretty sure I put the links in the description if you want to check this out or read more about it. Check it out there. I had to drink some water, getting parched here. Next up, similar thing, same line, but imagine Vegeta. This was another STC exclusive and was also previously released. I think, again, similar. I think the only difference was the hair is now here is translucent, where in the previous version it was opaque. And he comes with this aura effect with the lightning, which they've released before. I think it was with Super Saiyan 2 Goku. So I think it's pretty similar. And there's reviews already of this if you want to check it out also, because like I mentioned, it came out months before and some people already have it. But now this went up for pre-order on the site for more people to get a chance to get it. So both these figures and Imagine Vegeta went up. So if you guys are interested, yeah, check that out. And again, testament to the price here, $90 versus this one is $75. This one comes with an effect, but this is only just this figure. So it's kind of interesting. Oh, and here, this is where I show the differences, right? This is the previous version here. And you can see his hair is more opaque. And then here it has that translucent, which is kind of what Bandai Tamashii Nations has been doing recently with their exclusive. They've just kind of been giving this hair like this translucent effect, which I think is kind of cool. It kind of has like more of a shine to it, kind of more representative of their Super Saiyan form in the show. So, and it's all preference, right? I mean, this one obviously is going for a higher price just because it's older, and SH Figuarts figures usually hold their price. So if you miss out on this first one, here's your opportunity to get this one. Whether you like the hair like this or not, I don't know. I'll leave it to you to decide. Let me go back and check the chat real quick. Again, thank you all for your patience and for those sticking with me, even with my internet issues. Let's see here. Yeah, thanks. 12-inch audio, great now. Appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know. See, they need to make a Dragon Ball movie. Are you talking about live action movie? Because they've made a bunch of animated movies. But I'm gonna assume you mean the Dragon Ball live action movie. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Big dog. When a collector has many interests and likes, it can be a collector's curse. Yeah, no, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. So I have to pick and choose. People say they can't collect everything, so I have to kind of, I try to keep that in mind, and I have to be like, okay, I don't want to be. I have to learn to let certain figures go, or not be willing to not complete certain lines, and so a lot of it just comes back to, when I was younger, I obviously, like many of you, I couldn't really afford these. And so now we have money, right? And so all the things that interest me, I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. I'm trying to get that. I know absolutely nothing about Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, no worries. It's all good. Yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm just covering figures here that I have an interest in. Maybe some people haven't heard about these figures and they just are coming onto them and might spark some interest. So we'll see. If not, it's all good. Thank you still for sticking with me. Hopefully there's something in this stream that you find interesting. But all right, going on here. Continuing on. So again, SH Figuarts, Bandai Tamashii Nations. This is Jiraiya from Naruto Shippuden. There's for those of you familiar with Naruto, there's like the first series where it's just Naruto when he was younger, and then there's Shippuden where he grew up and he's a teenager. And yeah, it's kind of similar to like Dragon Ball, and then there was Dragon Ball Z, right? So it's kind of along those lines. But again, they're re-releasing this. They just um, let's see, they added brighter colors. Again, they changed the colors, which is kind of what they usually do for issues. And you can see I compared the two to show that they go like this one's a little more kind of dull, matte, and these are a little more vibrant, more bright. They also included with this new figure, this new face here. And so this figure comes with 4 faces. This new one, where the previous one I think only came with 2. And so yeah, I'm also a Naruto fan. I'm still catching up on all the Shippuden episodes. There's like 500, so yeah, I'm trying to squeeze them in when I can. There's just so many. Man. There's a lot to watch, a lot to watch. So yes, that was something I was interested in. That's kind of pretty cool. I got a few Naruto episodes and Sasuke. I'm waiting for some of other ones. There's some other ones I'm looking forward to if they come out with. So that's Jiraiya. All right, here we go. So this, speaking of nostalgia and some of the things I couldn't get when I was younger, this is the Ramen toys. So Ramen toys, if you aren't familiar, they're kind of like a third party bigger company. They're the ones who did those Silver Hawks that were a little more shiny, a little more chrome. They weren't necessarily vac metal, but they look more realistic. So Super 7 has their own line, right? And those are based on the animated series, the cartoon actually. Ramen toys kind of made like a more like slightly realistic, kind of based on the older figures versions. Um, and they got so they have those, and then they're doing these, and there's some other ones that they're doing, but they're basically hitting those 80s cartoons, which I'm a kid of the 80s. And yeah, this was one of the figures that I've always wanted. When people ask on other streams, what was one of the figures that you'd like to see them make from your childhood or bring back or remake, this was one of them. Just because I never had this, I was a really big fan of this show, the Centurions. Or I should say not Centurions, right? These people, they're not licensed, obviously. So they call them 80s commanders. And this is not Max Ray. This is Max Lightyear. I think he's related to Buzz, maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, so when I was younger, never had these figures, always wanted them. But yeah, now I'm getting another opportunity to get these. So it's just kind of like one of those opportunities, like, man, like again, like the Silverhawks and Thundercat figures that these companies are um, kind of playing towards nostalgia, right? This company here is doing. And just like they say in Step Brothers.
Can you imagine if we had these when we were 12? Even better. We got them when we're 40.
Man, that cracks me up every time. Even better. And yes, I am 40. Going to be 41 this year. So yeah, this is awesome. If only I had these when I was 12. But yeah, now there's another opportunity again. We got more. Oh man, every time that makes me laugh. But yeah, this is Max Lightyear. This is 1/12 scale. and he comes with these. So for those not familiar, Centurions, yeah, I'm blabbing about them. You guys are probably don't even know like what the hell are these. So this show was about there's three guys, and I'll show you here later. I think on the next slide. One each guy or each person focus on a different aspect of the environment. So this guy, all like sea based, his specialty was sea. A girl who was commanding, or a woman who's like the operator, quote unquote, or I forget her role, but she basically they would call to her and say, "Hey, send me this suit or send me these this equipment," and they would say, "Power extreme," and they would form this pose right here, and then they would just beam. She would beam those suits down, and they would connect to the corresponding spots in their body, and so that's why he has these weapons here connected to these points. And so you can obviously take them out and put them wherever you want, but they have different suits for different scenarios, right? This is kind of more of like a light arsenal type of, or light combat. There was some that required heavier combat with heavy artillery. It just like varied. And so speaking of this same company, Ramen Toys is also making this additional like weapon set, which is cool. Not only are they making the figures, but they're making this additional weapon set. And so these are kind of pricey. Did I put the price? Yeah. So this is $70, right? So it is kind of pricey, and they're not licensed. At least I'm pretty sure they're not, right? Or else they would have called them Centurions and by their actual name. Um, so they have a quote unquote deal where if you buy both of these, you get 15% off this figure. But this weapon set by itself is like 100 and damn, it was like $112. And so yeah, it's kind of pricey. So you really have to like want these, and maybe they might lower the price yet. This is just a pre-order; they haven't released it yet, and so I don't know. But yeah, I think they're really pulling. They're really trying to get you on the nostalgia aspect here. But damn, this is cool. Yeah, and then you can obviously rearrange them, like I said, any way you want on the figure, and yeah, this is just really cool. And I took some snapshots here of the Centurions. So this is from the actual show, right? So this is like I was saying. So this is Max Ray. This is the Sea Guy. This is Jake Rockwell, of course, right? He's the land guy, and then Ace, you guessed it, McCloud. Yeah, I know, right? So he's the guy who's based in the sky, and you can kind of see with some of their suits that they have. So he's obviously usually flying in the sky, and this guy's on the ground with like tank type artillery based stuff. He has one that's like a helicopter and a motorcycle. And then here's again is Max Ray. So yeah, it was really cool, man. It's just one of those figures that I didn't have when I was younger that I always wanted. So again, yeah, it's just playing to my young self, right? It's like, man, which is awesome. So let's see here. Let's see if anyone knows what the hell I'm talking about here. Going back to the chats now. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Thank you for clarifying. 12-inch live action Dragon Ball movie. Yeah, they did have one. But I think we can all, if for those of you that seen that, from what I heard, you want to erase that from your memory. And you probably don't want to watch it. But there is a Dragon Ball movie out there that's not, I think it's comparable to the Street Fighter movie with Jean-Claude, which wasn't great. So I'm hearing the Dragon Ball movie is probably like that reputation set us. So just watch out, FY. Really consider if you want to use that time to watch that movie. I haven't seen it, but I'm just saying. If you have seen it, let me know in the comments if you actually like it. You might be able to persuade me. I don't know. Let's see here. Going down. Oh yeah, Optimus Primal, please. Thank you for joining. I don't even want to try to pronounce your name because I might butcher it, but yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so yeah, I don't think anyone here remembers the Centurions. Yeah, there's I grew up on TV when I was younger. I don't know if you can tell. So I watched a lot of TV, summer breaks from school. We just stayed home because my parents were still working. They didn't have a babysitter. Again, I grew up poor, so we just had to make it work, and we were at home. While my parents were working, we were just at the house, my sister and I, just watching TV and movies. And so, yeah, very much a child of the 80s, the music, the TV shows, the cartoons. Oh man, I ate it up. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. You guys, some of you know what I'm talking about, right? All right, going on here. next item on the agenda, we have our DC Direct. This is also, I think this is a division, if you want to call it, of the McFarlane toys. But it's the DC Direct Batman animated series line. This is the Condiment King wave, so kind of similar to the Haslab Build a Figure, not the Haslab, Marvel Legends. Sorry, Marvel Legends Build a Figure. This is the what do they call it? The should say here build. I'm blanking on the name now. I just build a person. Build a I can't remember. But it's not the build a figure. They have a different name for it, but it's same concept, right? So you collect each one of these, and then you have the parts to form the Condiment King, which I'll show here in a little bit. But yeah, again, this is another one of those cartoons that I watched a lot. Batman the Animated Series. I'm sure some of you know. If you know, you know. This was a great show, and it's just awesome. So this was part of Target's. They're calling it their Fall Geek Out, I think. So these are Target exclusives, unfortunately. Last I looked, some of these were up for pre-order still, so you can go on Target's website. I think again, check the description below if you're interested in these. But for me personally, the villains, man, the villains kill it. Specifically, Scarecrow. That was I think one of my favorite characters, just because of the way he looked from the series. These are 12 scale, 6 inches figures, and so Target exclusives. And yeah, like I was saying, the villains, man. I remember, when I was younger, one of the things I did was I would get pictures from like magazines or something, and I would trace them, and I would have them and put them in my binder, like my those binders that have the clear what do they call, like the clear protectors in front. You can like slide papers in there. So I would draw different figures like Ninja Turtles and X-Men and Batman characters, and I would put them in there, and I would have them to school. And I thought that was like the shit because I had those. I'm like, yeah, look what I traced. But it was all in pencil. I didn't color anything. But no, it was fun, man. It was awesome. I enjoyed doing that, man. But so $30 each, which is pricier than typical McFarlane figures. I never understood that. I haven't looked into why DC Direct figures are typically more expensive, which is kind of interesting. So you just have your DC Multiverse line, for those of you who are familiar, right? And those are the ones you typically see with the other Batman figures or DC figures that they usually have, the more popular ones, right? And this is kind of like an offshoot of that. So I'm not sure. Let me know in the chat in the comments why the DC Direct figures. I have some of their DC Direct Deceased, right? Those are the ones that are where some of the Justice League or some DC characters are zombified. They're like zombies, which is really cool. One of the things that that usually sells me on a figure is if it's zombified, right? So I got like the Hot Toys Iron Man, the zombie version, the zombie Deadpool. I got that Dead Strange coming up. I got on pre-order. So yeah, anything like zombies, I'm all for, man. It's just, I don't know. That's just my thing. That's just one of my jams. And so I have that DC Deceased line, and they're also coming out with DC Vampires. I'm sure I didn't have time to add those slides in here to go over that, but those are coming out. There's a Green Lantern one, DC Vampires Green Lantern figure that's coming out from McFarlane, which looks pretty sick. So yeah, sorry, going back to this. Like I said, the villains are the takeaway from me. Scarecrow is awesome. And as you saw here, they have Unmask and the mask head sculpt. Only 2 pairs of hands though, and this Scythe, one of those. You pick the correct answer, Scythe or Scythe. I can't remember which one it is. Maybe it's not even neither. Maybe I'm missing it up. But yeah, this looks awesome, man. It's just awesome characters. Sub-Zero. I'm almost combining my Freeze characters, Ice powers, Sub-Zero, Iceman, Mr. Freeze. So Mr. Freeze, he looks kind of generic. Right? I mean, he looks straight up like a toy, which, I mean, obviously it is. We're talking about toys here, right? That's what I'm doing, which is all good. I love toys. So I don't specifically remember him looking like this in the animated series. I'm sure he does though, because if the Scarecrow, they got the Scarecrow, that I'm sure Mr. Freeze looks similar. But he still looks cool. I just like the colors, the purple and the blues, how they go together, and it's just, he looks cool. And then here I just added the Condiment King to show what it looks like when he's complete. Again, this is like a build a wave, right? So you need to buy all 4 figures to get the Condiment King. And I'm gonna be straight with you guys. I do not remember the Condiment King at all. I don't know if it was like a joke character or what. But again, let me know in the comments from the chat if you all out there remember the Condiment King. I just with the truck kept up mustard. I'm not sure if they're mines or not. Maybe it's like relish bombs, or if it's like relish grenade or something, or sauerkraut. No, I think the bombs would be sauerkraut if anything, right? I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. So again, let me know. I could be wrong. Picklehead, maybe. Oh, that's where like the relish is, right? That's supposed to be his mask. Maybe shoot something out of there. I don't know. It's just funny. It's just kind of like, to me, seems like one of those gag characters. As you can see, they have the cell shading here. I think Batman, if we go back, yeah, you can see Batman and Robin all about the shell cell shaded seashells, but let's see, cell shaded paint on there, like they do what like Marvel Legends did with the X-Men. You know, they had them on. They were exclusive to Hasbro Pulse. They came out with characters based on the animated series, and they had cell shaded versions. Same thing with Spider-Man. They have Spider-Man figures. So I guess DC then, or McFarlane, followed suit, which would make sense, right? He's based on that. But yeah, ladies and the gents, collectors, new and existing, young and old, that was the last of it. Let me check the chat real quick, see if anyone had anything to say about these figures. Again, thank you for sticking with me this long, even though some of these may not have been your jam. Let's see here. Hey, CM Chuck, thanks for joining, man. Appreciate you. Yo, what is up, fam? Love that freeze, right? Yeah, that or the Sub-Zeros, I call them. Yeah, the freeze looks cool. I mean, although it doesn't seem like the articulation might be that great just from these pictures, I think it still looks pretty cool. It's worth getting. I forgot to mention, there was a 4-pack that came out that had Batman, Batgirl, what is his name? Not Commissioner Gordon. There was the big guy with the hat. I forget his name. You help me out here in the chat. He was like the big guy with the brown trench coat, and he had the hat. I forgot his name. Oh, it's not Commissioner Gordon. What is his name? I can't remember now. But it came with him, and I think it came with the Joker actually. So that was that 4-pack, and so these would go with those pretty well. And I think that might be good. I think those were the main characters that I wanted from that line. But yeah. Deceased line, yeah, exactly. 12-inch, yeah, those are some cool figures. You know, I didn't get them all. I picked and choose. I think I got Batman and Superman. They're up on the shelf behind me here. That you can kind of out of sight, but yeah, those are some of the ones I have there. I'll have a lot of the zombie looking or beast looking ones. But again, that's kind of Mark McFarlane, right? That's kind of where he his roots were from. A lot of the figures he did back in the day were kind of based on, you know, zombies, obviously Spawn, right? You all know from Spawn, but he really his company, his figures really excelled on paint and sculptures for anything that was like zombies, monsters, goblins, demons, beasts, things like creatures, right? He did a really good job with those, and some of that carried over, maybe not to the same extent, but yeah, to the DC Multiverse line. F. Wellington, $30 is a little more palatable as a price for what you're getting with the Batman, the animated series figures. Okay. All right. Maybe it's a license. I don't know that. Maybe that's why they're more expensive. I'm not pronounced Scythe. Okay. I think that's even if I'm pronouncing it right. Yeah. Is it pronounced Scythe and I'm still pronouncing it wrong? I'm going to say Scythe. Okay. Yeah. I thought it was one of those Scythe, Seethe, but thank you. Let's see here. Just another Friday night podcast. Thank you for joining. I appreciate your time. Evening all. Yeah, that freeze looks pretty accurate to early episode. Okay, thanks for confirming. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen the show. I liked it, but not enough to where, you know, I wanted to buy the series. I know they're selling the series. X-Men though, that was my show. That's the one where I got the full series on DVDs. Yep, I have DVDs. Yeah, and it still holds up. That's one of those shows, that 90s animated series, the X-Men, that I think holds up. There's a lot of, it's interesting. I went back and watched it recently, and there's a lot of episodes and things that we're dealing with as a society today, man. I think it was kind of one of those shows that was ahead of its time. It's like some of the stuff that they covered, not just obviously like it's a cartoon and people just saw it as that, but some of the stuff they talked about in there, like social injustice and things like that. Obviously there's like mutants versus humans and that stuff. And there's just like a lot of stuff that's, yeah, it was really good. I think it holds up. So I'm curious to see what the continued, what is it, the X-Men 97 or 92, the newest one coming out. I'm curious. Hopefully that's as good. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. We'll see how it goes. He was in one episode. Oh, Lane Kramer. Thank you for joining. I don't think I called you out earlier, man. Appreciate you coming through. He was in one episode of the animated series. He was an old 60s character. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do not recall. But thanks for dropping that knowledge on us. Lane the legend. Let's see here. Yeah, Condiment King. Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof. Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. It's like the Condiment King. I think it might just be funny to have one of those um joke characters, right? Just kind of something I have in the background. I'm kind of one of those collectors who I don't mind mixing figures together. I know certain people only like to put certain figures and pose them with like on displays or shelves that are with like similar or like figures from the same line. I'm just all about having fun, right? Because we were a kid, we would have like a He-Man fighting like a Transformer, like doing that whole thing, and I kind of say that way. It's just like it's just all about having fun. Again, going back to the zombies, another thing I didn't cover here that I wanted to, but I just, again, the presentation I didn't have time to put in the slides, was that 3-0 Rick Grimes. Man, 3-0's been killing it coming out, that season 7 Rick Grimes. So I was thinking of putting that with like all my zombie characters that I was mentioning earlier. That'd be funny. Some of you had the similar idea with vampires. I was talking about vampires. So that sideshow David from the Lost Boys, love that movie. So I got that one. And I also got that Present Toys Blade. So I might do, some sort of crossover with that, have that with Blade and Morbius, just stuff like that, right? Like, I don't mind combining the lines or crossing the streams, if you will. Pause. Just to have fun, right? It's all about having fun and just, making your display your own. That's your collection. You just do what you want, right? Have fun and do what pleases you. Harvey Bullock. Yes. Thank you. Yes. My man coming through with that. Yeah. That sounds familiar now when you say that. Yeah, that's his name. That's referring to the big guy I was trying to remember in the Batman animated series with the hat and the brown trench coat, the bigger guy. Yeah. So yeah, he came with that 4-pack that I mentioned that I got. What are these? If you're referring to these figures on the screen, just another Friday night. These are the scroll back here. These are the DC Direct Batman animated series figures that just came out or that were announced for Target's fall geek out, right? They're exclusive to Target. I believe they're all up for pre-order right now. I know for sure the Scarecrow is, because I had pre-ordered that one. But they're all up there. And so these are 1/12 scale figures, so 6-inch figures. But yeah. Yeah. You smell what I'm stepping here, CM Chuck. Cross the streams. You said that was bad, right? Yeah. Yep, exactly. You caught that reference. But yeah, guys. Guys and gals, thank you. That was all I had. Wow, kept it an hour. I thought I was gonna go a little bit longer. So yeah, I know it's Sunday night. We'll see if I stick with this. Let me know, in the comments if this is a decent time. I know, obviously, I'm in the West Coast of the States, and so for me it's 8 p.m. now. I know some of you obviously later. As we go further east, it's later for you all. And I don't plan on sticking with this. I think this is the only time I had available for this time. And one of the reasons I don't put out as much content is just because, obviously, like I mentioned on my other streams, apparently collecting. If you haven't checked that out, those are in my channel. But balancing life and hobbies, right? Everything else, family, of course, always comes first. So I have 2 kids, and so activities with them, just doing stuff around the house, that usually takes up most of my time, right? I put my time into that, make sure I do my chores, got to do the chores, all the adult stuff. And then anything else that I have free for me, for my time, I squeeze in what I can. So that's one of the reasons why I don't have as much content out there. But I'm trying, when I get time, to discuss things that I love, my interests, like this stream, for instance. I know not a lot of people collect multiple scales, multiple lines. And so I know there's a few of you out there. So I think that's kind of in a niche. People usually stick to one scale, and it's kind of hard to jump all around. I totally understand finances, so you can't collect everything. So I totally get that. And so it's, hey man, you just, like people have said, you collect what you like or what you love. just do what you can. Do what you can, right, with what you got. In the end, it's just a hobby. So yeah, I will. I'll play it. I'll play by ear. Again, I'm a big football fan, also NFL. So talking about multiple interests, and so I usually watch football on the weekends, and so I may have to go around that also. But we'll see. Maybe during the week, on a weeknight in the evening, or on a weekend. But yeah, let me know. If you haven't already, check out my social media. I usually put up notices on when I'll have a stream. Of course, if you haven't already subscribed, that benefits you more than me. I'm not trying to get monetized just because I know it's that I don't put out enough content. I don't think to justify that for you all, but it's mostly for you all watching. If you subscribe, then you can get notified, and I would say that's probably the best way to get those notifications of when I put up a stream. Just because, yeah, I'm up in the air of time. I don't have a set schedule. I know that hurts me as a YouTuber. But again, this is all, I'm just doing this for fun, right? I'm just doing this for a hobby, just because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy talking about this stuff. And so I may or may not have guests, depending on the time. Again, that's the biggest thing, right? The conflicting schedules. So if any of you out there, viewers, anyone in the community, current YouTubers, or anyone who's thinking about getting into the game, let me know. Reach out to me on social media. Yeah, and we can just talk toys, talk figures, right? We can work something out. Maybe get you on here if you're in interest. And it's just, it's just casual talk, right? It's just formal, just talking about figures. But again, thank you all for your time. I appreciate it very, very much. There's a lot of stuff out there, and I know it's you spend your time where you need to, right? Where you would like to. So the fact that you're here, or you chose to watch me in the replay, I appreciate it. Again, check out the description. Otherwise, sometimes you'll catch me on S Beam's channel. I know S Beam was in the chat earlier. Mondays and Collector's Figure when I can. LWO, shout out to LWO crew. Every Friday nights, I'll put their link in the description. I have to add those later. But yeah, Mario obviously is part of that. P Rock is in there. Joel's in there. The LWO crew. If not, check them out. Who else? Ben Thomas. Let's Get Nuts on Sunday. I try to join him when I can. And so, yeah, just keep an eye out that for additional content. I plan on starting another channel also to talk about my other interests that I mentioned: movies, TVs, and video games. So yeah, a lot of interest, a lot of stuff to cover. I'm going more of like the jack of all trades and a master of none, right? I'm not excelling in anything. I just like a lot of things. And so, yeah, I want to be able to talk about a bunch of things. But yeah, again, thank you all. I hope you have a great week. And this was a nice palate cleanser for Sunday. I hope you had a great weekend, and you start your week great, and you have a good one. I'll catch you all on the social media and just out in the ether. But with that, thank you again for joining. I appreciate you all and your time, and have a good one.